This is Drop Tent Media Network.
Pretty face like that, I can't be mad at you. An independent woman with an attitude. I can give you what you want, but you don't really need it, cause you never want for nothing. So it wouldn't be wrong to ask you to my place. If you tell me that you can't, then baby, it's okay.
Hi, welcome to Crimes to Remember. I'm your host, Shari, Comedian Shari. And of course, I have with me, as always, the phenomenal producer, Neil. How have you been, Neil?
I'm doing well. Hey, Shari, how are you?
I'm good. It's been a while.
It has.
It's been a while.
It's been a
It's
little
called
bit.
life. It's called life. That's what it's called.
It is called life. But
So,
yeah,
yes.
people are super clamoring for your next episode, so I'm excited to see what you're gonna do and who we're gonna do. Who are we talking about today?
So, the person that, first of all, I don't think we're ever going to be like, oh my goodness, this is a decent person. Not like we're ever going to find a serial killer that's a decent person. So don't get me wrong. But today, and I don't, you know what? I stumbled across, and this is the crazy part of how I stumbled across him. I stumbled across Robert Pickton because there's a TV show on Netflix talking about unexplained and whatnot. So the story about the unexplained, they're talking about how 21 severed foots have washed ashore. And then they brought up Robert Pickton's case or whatever. So then that intrigued me to go check into that. We can always get back to the 21 severed foots on another time. But yes, that made me want to look into Robert Pickton because he was notorious. He was vicious in British Columbia, Canada. And like his crime span, like some, just like Gacy and other ones, it's unnecessary that he was able to go this long. His crime span lasted from 1983 to 2002. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
That, like, seriously, like that's 19 years. Like, you got to be joking with me. So, Robert Pickton, he was born October 24th, 1949, and he had a brother, Dave, and also a sister, Linda. And now, Robert's father was very abusive. He was very abusive. He just was evil. And Robert was like obsessed with his mother. Like he was very obsessed with her, very close and whatnot. So the crazy part about it was, now he was obsessed with his mom, but he dropped out of school in the 9th grade, which they believe that his mom was happy because she was just able to spend more time with him, which sounds dumb to me because let me tell you something. You can be close to me, but I'm gonna need you to go to school. The last thing I need you to do is be stupid. Like, come on now. When you represent us, let's not embarrass us as a unit. So one thing about Robert, though, he was a butcher, and they were farmers. They had a pig farm, and so that was his whole deal for the whole family. That's all they did, was maintain their farm. So now at 12, he would go to stocks auctions and whatnot. So he ended up going to the livestock auction. He took $35. He ended up buying his calf. Now, he was very particular about this calf. He was raising the calf, taking care of the calf. And one day he comes home from school and he says to his dad, he was like, did you see the calf? I can't find him. He was like, he should have been in the barn. And he said, no, he's probably in the barn. He said, are you sure? He said, just go look and see. He's probably in the barn. So when Robert goes to look in the barn for his calf, his dad starts laughing. He tied the calf up by his feet, slit his throat, and started laughing as a joke to prove a point to Robert that he killed him because he thought it was amusing. So, right. That's the type of dad you're working with. So right there, there shouldn't be much hope for a family. That's all I'm saying. I mean, sometimes you're like, well, maybe there's a chance. No, I doubt it. Anytime your dad does some stupid shit like that, I truly doubt it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I think the other one was it might have been Dean Coral. It might not have been Dean Coral, another person to look into, but could have been even not Edmund Kemper, but oh gosh, who made the nipple belt? Jeez, my horror fans out there are going to be mad at me right now. I know, terrible to say nipple belt out loud on an episode and not explain that, but stop laughing. It's not funny. But no, yeah, there's been a couple people that had like an affinity for animals. Leonard Lake and Edward Ing, Lake and Ing, like he had like bought pets when he was younger, and then his parents kind of killed him, like to eat them. And yeah.
the crazy part is, I think though, what amazes me with some people, and don't get me wrong, I'm a big animal person, definitely. But I think the part that amazes you the most is it's some people out here, not only are they partial to animals, but then they just have no regard for human life. Like that's the part that amazes me the most. So like they would care more for an animal and save an animal than they would for a human. But
Yeah,
I mean, to each his own.
Yeah, it's just strange.
It just makes no sense. But now, Robert, of course, his sister and his brother. Now, when they were 14, they moved to another farm. And of course, his sister, Linda, she was smart. She took off. She left that family. She knew to save herself. So she took off. So then, of course, it was Robert, Dave, father and a mom. So now they had the pig farm and whatnot. Now they had over 700 pigs. And they would slaughter the pigs 3 times a day. That's mainly what they did. Another thing is Robert did not like to shower at all. He didn't like to shower. So he always would smell. And then not only that, they would let the pigs come in and out the house. So there was always pig shit in the house. And like the crazy part was the stench didn't seem to bother anyone in the house. That's the part that blows my mind. Not one person thought they were going to pass out and die from the smell. None. I guess they just got so immune to it, which amazes me because I don't see how you get immune to from animals, the kind of shit. But
sure, yeah, this is. I think some people, if you're jump on the YouTube, if you're not already on there, but there's a house in here, in this what seems to be like an industrial kind of terrible park that has no gravel and is pure mud. There's a house where they live.
That thing looks like Amity Horrorville house. Like, what the hell? It looks horrible.
Yeah, I mean, Nothing But Trouble. Have you ever seen that movie? I don't know. Any movie where it's a bunch of white rednecks, unfortunately, with a banjo. There's kind of
that looks like the wrong turn without deformities. That's all.
But there's a house in here, yeah. So when Shari's serious, the pigs would come in and out, and they did not bathe. Like it was pretty wild.
They just didn't care. So now Dave, Dave was more sociable than Robert was. But even so, Dave had shit with him. When he was 14, when he was in a pickup truck, when he was 16, he was in a pickup truck and he hit a 14-year-old boy. So now the boy was still alive, but he's on the side of the road. So Dave goes home to tell his mom and his dad. So the dad goes outside, starts cleaning the truck, get all the blood off, to make sure there's no evidence. And then the mom takes off down the road and she drags the 14-year-old boy off the side of the road and drowns him.
Yeah.
Yeah, she ended up admitting that later though. So they weren't right. So they didn't know and he never got charged. And you're just like, I'm telling you, when you think about his span and how they handled the cases, I think this is the part that blows your mind the most. Because now, see, I touch base on the fact of, the people he murdered. But I'm more devastated by the fact of it's like they just didn't care. And it comes down to the people, which is they feel like sex workers and so on and so forth. They feel like you can just throw them away, like they're not relevant. And that just doesn't make sense to me. So, I think that's the most appalling part of all, because you think to yourself, like, why were you able to go this long? So the crazy part is Robert ended up having a pen pal, and her name was Connie Richardson. And he really liked her. She was in Michigan. So he left to go to Michigan to date her. And he was with her for a while. And then he actually got engaged to her. But because she couldn't leave her job and they wanted him back at the farm, they ended up breaking up. So basically, that bitch saved herself. She didn't even realize it. Yeah, she's smarter than the average because that bitch could have just ended up on the farm. She doesn't know. She could have been a pack of ground beef if she wasn't careful. So,
yeah. So, you're joking, but that does come up later.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's the sad part. Like, it's, you might think like, oh, that was funny. It's not funny. It's going to happen. Yeah. Think twice when you pick up that ground beef when you hit the store the next day. I'm just saying. I'm not trying to turn anybody off, but I'm just being honest with you. So the crazy part is, so his dad ends up dying in 1978 at the age of 91. And then the next year, his mother passes and she's 67 because there was a big age gap between the mom and the dad. Yeah. So now at this time, the farm itself was worth $1 million in 1979, which is a substantial amount of money back then. Let's be realistic. So all of the kids got $90,000 left to them. Linda and Dave. And Linda and Dave got their money right away. Now, Robert wasn't allowed to get his 90,000 until he turned 40, which I find odd, but she gave him an extra 20,000 anyway that he was able to get right away, which was good and all, but you still think to yourself, like, why wait till 40? I'm not knocking you, but I'm just saying, if you're waiting for 90,000 till you're 40, I mean, hopefully you make it till 40. That's all I'm saying, just with the way things go.
True.
I mean, let's be realistic. And the fact that you guys were so close, I guess getting the extra 20,000 was good enough. She probably left him that for the maintenance, I guess, of the farm in general. But I guess she figured if she had given him the money, maybe he would have just left the farm. Or I don't know what she thought. You know, you never know parents' reasoning for why they do things, whatever. But the kids were well off. So it's another thing. It's not like they were poor. It's not like they couldn't afford things. They just didn't want to do things the right way. They didn't want to bathe. They wouldn't shower. They just didn't care.
No, yeah, there's Dave on the YouTube now. So like Dave, his brother. And I think, you mentioned he's a little more sociable. Like,
right.
Robert,
Dave was more sociable than Robert.
Right. He kind of faded into the background, Robert, right?
Right. So, and then with Dave being more sociable, it was easier for them to bring women or prostitutes home because, Dave would do the socializing and then Robert would just be at home because he wasn't a sociable person. He just kept to himself. So the crazy part is in 1980, he had started taking animal parts to a rendering plant. And a rendering plant is where they're grinding down the animal parts to make it into like a paste, because that same paste is also used in like soap, paint, and makeup, which is also disturbing. The thing is, this story in itself is going to turn you off the shit. Like when you hear animal cruelty free, you really going to think differently. Like you're like, thank God. Like this gives you a different outlook. Like, are you serious? Like this is the shit they were doing all this time and we're just unaware. So I think it's just, to me, it's just disturbing. So I don't know. It's ridiculous. So now when he decides he wants to start his spree, the thing that he does is it's in Hastings, Vancouver. There's a strip. Now, the wild thing about it is it's homeless people, prostitutes, sex workers. Now, he was getting most of his victims or recruiting them from this strip. The sad part is, though, while Robert Pickton did this, Gary Ridgway, who's a serial killer, also pulled his victims from there. Another serial killer, Gilbert Jordan, also picked his victims from there, too. Yeah, and the thing is, you would think, let's clean up the area. But the police and the authorities, they look at these people as throwaways, like they're just not human or not members of the society, our society, because they don't have a job that they approve of. That's really all it comes down to. So, like, had it been, a woman that was relevant, it would have made a difference. Just like it's called the Highway of Tears, and over 40 Indigenous women were murdered there. And this is the whole problem where we talk about Indigenous women or sex workers or even African-American women. They're not taking the time to look into the cases because they act like it just doesn't matter. When that shouldn't be the case at all. Like it really shouldn't. We're all human beings. We have a right, to be respected and for people to pay attention. It just makes no sense. So now with Robert Pickton, his first victim, and they truly believe his first victim was definitely Wendy Allen. And Wendy Allen, she went missing and she was saw with him March 30th, 1979. And then no one ever heard from her again and whatnot. So the second victim was Rebecca Guno, and she went missing June 22nd, 1983. So now he did that in 79. Then it's like it was a long break, 83. Then when he rolls around to the third victim, Yvonne Abigosis, Abigosis, she went missing January 1st, 1984. So he only waited a year then. So now he's going to pick up more momentum as far as his victims and not taking a break. And this is how come he's able to get such a high number, because he keeps doing it without, hesitation. Unfortunately, there were sex workers that were being reported missing. Now, even though they were being reported missing, the police didn't do anything. They would get the reports. They'd say, all right, we're going to look into it. We'll investigate. They didn't look into anything. They didn't investigate. They didn't check. And the sad part is, it's almost like they just didn't care. Like, I'm like, you got to be kidding me. Like, it makes no sense. So then it was a point where Robert actually started dating a woman, Tanya Carr. Now, while he was dating Tanya Carr for like 18 months or more, he didn't commit any murders.
Right.
And what amazes me is how she could be with him that long with that smell and everything. Like, I don't understand how. Listen, I can get used to a lot of things, but that's something I'm not going to get used to. I don't even want to offend myself. Okay. And I'm by myself if I offend myself. So, like, smell wise. So, yeah, I don't understand how you can be with someone and not be like, I'm dying over here. I can't breathe. Like, especially with the feces and you not wanting to clean or bathe or shower. Like, have
you ever been around pigs? Have you ever been around like livestock like that?
Yes. When we went to farms and we went to visit something. Yeah. Listen, that smell is not a joke.
It's potent. It's strong. It's up there.
This is the thing I don't understand. And trust me, livestock is a big difference. But sure. Have you ever been in a property, like especially like even with hoarders, where there was the feces or cat litter, that ammonia, that takes your breath away. Can you imagine livestock? That litter and the feces and you leaving that in the house, that stuff, listen, you can't breathe. You can't tell me it's not doing damage to your lungs. Like, you can't breathe.
The pig shit might be a good deodorizer at that point. Like, just his smell with the dirtiness plus the pig shit. The pig shit's probably helping.
That could be true.
I mean, I'm obviously
it could be added to fragrance. You're like this. Oh my God, that pig is making everything smell so much better. You're like, you're okay.
Wouldn't it be that his dumbass would light one candle? You'd be like, that'll take care of it. You're like, dude, that's not going to take care of it. Anyway, sorry, Shari. Go on.
So now at one point he ended up taking 4 women and there was one survivor. And his theory was, and this was his thing as his role. He really believed that like he was a white knight savior for prostitutes and he could save them, because he would be like, if I could try to get them off drugs. And he admitted to one person, he said, I would try to get them off drugs. And then if they didn't want to get off drugs, I couldn't help them or something like this. He was like, I could always murder them because I wanted to save them. Okay. Right. So you said save them and you said murder and the same. I don't save and murder usually shouldn't be going hand in hand. I don't know. Just me. I don't know. Just me. I'm not sure, but I wouldn't think they should go together. So.
Right, because he was like sober, right? He was like a very sober person. He never did any drugs or anything. I remember hearing that.
Yeah, like he wasn't like, they would party and they would do things. But I know, like you would think like, okay, well, maybe he was drunk and then this could lead to no. He was like, so now when he was in school, he was in special ed classes. So you already knew that he was sandwiches short of a picnic basket. He was touched. Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's a no-brainer. So the crazy part is, as he was killing these women and whatnot like that, his numbers were just getting up. His numbers were getting up. So now, actually, a part of a skull was found. What he did was he cut the skull in half. He would use a saw to actually cut the skull in half. Now, they had found a skull, but, that's a Jane Doe. So they couldn't tie it in anything. So then they're not really looking at him. And you're thinking like, well, that doesn't make any sense. But the reason why he was able to stay on top of things is, though, when he was taking the animal parts to the rendering plant, he was also taking human body parts. So they were getting grinded up also with that and put into, the paints or whatever. So you were getting meat along with human remains. And when he went to the rendering plants, he never ever took heads, hands, or feet because he didn't want it to, because it would cause alarm and he didn't want to be, he didn't want it to be noticed and whatnot. So now remind you, in 1997, he had killed 14 women, at least in 1997. But by the time 1997 hit, his count was up to 30 though. That's the crazy part. So now this one prostitute that he took home, she had called a pimp and said, I'm done, blah, 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 said in the third, come pick me up. So before he got there to pick her up, he said Robert went to get his wallet to go pay her. When he went to go pay her, he said, "You stole my wallet. Where's my wallet?" Then he picks the knife up and puts it to her because that's his whole twist on being slick. She ends up wrestling with him to get the knife from him and starts stabbing him. So now she's stabbing him and they're going back and forth and whatnot. So even though she got a couple good stabs in on him, when he does hit her and get the knife back from her, he actually stabs her twice in the abdomen. So he starts to go down. He doesn't die, of course, but he starts to go down because he's getting weak because he's losing so much blood. She takes off running to escape. She's running, holding her intestines. That's how bad he stabbed her in the abdomen. And she was able to get to a car and whatnot. The crazy part was, though, she went to the police and they were like, they went to the house, but they didn't have any proof.
Right.
And they said, well, you stabbed him also. So they were like, maybe we can charge him with, like, I don't know, prostitute or like, you know.
The Canadian police.
So you're like, so he stabbed me, I stabbed him. That's it. I just, no one.
The Canadian police are like, all right there, ma'am. It's all right. It sounds like it was a fair fight. There we go. There you go. Little stab there, little stab there. No big deal. You know, you're like
it blows your mind. It blows your mind. So as his numbers are coming up, and like he's just ridiculous. Now there's no, but this is the thing. At that time in 1997, the authorities said, well, we don't really have any indications of a serial killer. Oh, God. So you have to remember, if you're finding a half a skull and you're just saying it's a Jane Doe, fine. But he was feeding the body parts to the pigs and the animals. Then he was taking some of the body parts to the rendering plant to get it broken down. So by like 1998, America's Most Wanted decides there's a serial killer. Something's going on. A lot of these women are coming up missing. This can't be a coincidence. These women are being reported and no one cares. No one's doing anything. So they offer a $100,000 reward for anyone, to tell them something. So the crazy part is, in his barn, at one point when they do find a woman, the woman's legs were hanging from the barn that he had killed, because that was his whole thing, cutting up women. That's all he did. So now another crazy thing was, in 1993, when he was originally, before he got up to his count of 30, a woman by the name of Gina, she was working with him. She would lure prostitutes to his property in order for him to kill them. She didn't care.
Oh, wow.
He would give her money. He paid her rent. He took care of her. So that's how come he was able to get some of those prostitutes. Because remember, he's not going out like that. He's not wanting to socialize. He's wanting to stay on the farm. So he uses Gina to do these things and help him out. Then he meets another female, and this chick happens to be Dina Taylor. And in 2000, she starts bringing him prostitutes. He does the same setup with her. He's just, he's paying her. He's looking out for her. The crazy part is when they do discover things, they find Dina's DNA all over the whole property, as if she was like slipping and sliding through the blood and the remains while he was doing the murdering. Like, you're like, are you? The part that gets me is, as a woman, 2 women helped furnish women for you to violate and dismember and feed the animals. That shit blows my mind.
Well, right. Yeah. Was there anything that you found that Gina and Diana were eventually killed? Did they survive?
Oh, no, they survived. Oh, no. Because see, that's the thing. He was looking out for them because they were bringing him prostitutes. So
right.
he had no reason to bother with them. He took care of them and they didn't care. They looked the other way. So they furnished him with these women and they didn't see a big deal with it at all. They didn't see anything wrong with it.
And he's got the money, right? So he's like probably paying them pretty well.
So then they started throwing these parties and they would call it Piggy Palace. So at the parties, they were making like $10,000 to $40,000 a party. They had officials, police officers, everybody attending the parties, drugs, everything going on. Like they were supplying the town. So it's almost like everyone looked the other way because no one cared.
I want you to think about this. I want you to think about what you guys put in your mind's eye, a party, like, right? Beautiful. Probably like lots of flowing lights all around. You know what I mean? Bodies interacting, kind of a lot of glowing, moving. And then I want you to think about it as it looks here. This is where we're going to have the party. We're gonna have the party in
First
some
of all-
abandoned factories and flooded old houses. So we're gonna do the party there.
First of all, you act like you're going to like a Vegas strip club or a Vegas, like just stop playing.
Right.
Like look at that hole in the wall. That shit looks hideous.
Yes, but that's where they were having the parties. They were having them on the compound,
Basically.
right?
And so now there's a thing called it's called geographical profiling. Now with geographical profiling, that's what profilers use to catch these serial killers. The funny part is not Vancouver. They were like, we don't need that. We're fine where we're at. Okay, you realize that you guys would have caught him murdering had you appreciated the assistance. They didn't want any assistance. There was a profiler that wanted to work with him. They didn't want his help because they didn't like him. Yep. So this is how come his span was able to go from 1983 to 2002. And the crazy part is when they did get, this is the kicker. His friend was, I think it's Bruno, right? He was supposed to get rent money or something or whatever. He was supposed to get money from him. He didn't get the money. So Bruno goes to the police and dimes Robert out. Ooh. And because of a money situation, the police go to Robert's house and then they start to see, they're looking and they start to see certain things that make them skeptical. So then they decide they're going to search this house and check for things. They found the inhaler of one woman that was missing. They found women's clothes, jewelry. They found half of skulls that had been cut in half that had been put in the freezer. It blows your mind because then they're finally all of a sudden giving a shit. Then he had like packs of ground meat in his fridge, and the ground meat was made up of pork and human remains. So then they went on the property and then they started to piece together certain things, and they were able to find certain body parts. But a lot of things, a lot of things they're like they couldn't find, or they're like, wait a second, where the lost? Where is this at? I don't know where to look. Like, so the crazy part was you're like, I hear you, but this has been going on so long. There's no reason why I should have went this long. So it actually took them years to comb through that property because they were going to charge him on 27 counts, right? When he finally got caught and arrested in February 2002, they were going to charge him with 27 counts. The judge said that would take too long. So the fuck? Okay. Okay. So because it takes too long and you apparently got other shit that you want to do, they decided to only charge him with 6 counts. Now, remind you, he was going to be charged with 27 counts of first-degree murder. Instead, because the judge was like, damn it, I'm going to miss my golf game. Let's just do 6 counts of second-degree murder. He got charged with 6. I know, you're like, ooh, I'm sure I'm getting sleepy listening to all these murders.
20? I can't even do 20. There's no way.
You're like, please, the 7th. No, you know what? Now listen, 6 is a good number. It's even. 6 is my favorite number.
I think we can wrap up. Yeah. We could probably wrap up 6 in like an afternoon, right, guys? You think we can wrap it up in an afternoon?
6. I think, like, 6 seems good to me. You're like, let's not overdo it. Like, I mean, let's not make it seem like we always want to do our fucking job around here. Like, please, let's be lazy.
We're seeking justice.
Basically, right. They're like, justice. They're like, no, we just get money. We don't believe in justice. They're like, that's not what we're here for, which is amazing. And then you say to yourself, I couldn't imagine corruption in the system. Really? Motherfuckers are more corroded than the pipes that I just used CLR on.
Really.
So he got charged with 6 counts of second-degree murder. And then, of course, he was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. And no one else was charged. And that was just it. So the thing that amazes me is, so even though he was supposed to do that, they were able to find 33 people that were victims. But he actually confessed to 49 because he said he was mad that he didn't make it to a good round number of 50. So he got shorted.
God.
He was trying to get to 50. So the fact that he got 49, I know I would hate that. I'd be like, damn it. Y'all gonna stop me at 49? I wanted to get to 50. That's disrespectful. You're like, so I can't get to 50. Okay.
I think he killed more than 50.
Oh, listen. This is the thing. whenever it comes to a rapist, a serial killer, oh my gosh, what is he being charged with? 5 counts of rape. That's crazy.
Sure.
How many did he do? Bitch, probably 10. You know how when you ask a hoe, how many men you been with? 3. Bitch, multiply that by 3. 9. Fuck out of here with that lie. So, you know what I mean? I hear what you're saying, right? Like, I mean, you know, like, you be
Also,
like, that's
a woman who slept with 9 men, you're like, oh, what a hussy. You're like, it's 9 guys. What? I don't know. How many? Doesn't sound like that many. I mean,
that's why
in the
bitches hit the
30s.
number so low. So when you multiply it by 3, it don't sound so bad and shit.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
You know, I mean, teach his own. Look like
But
just teach his own.
right, you definitely think, because the 6, what are your thoughts? The 6 women they charged for, was it clearly just because you talked about the Piggy Palace? Was it because that they definitely had law enforcement or people that might have been involved with maybe other women or prostitutes that were on scene later? And if they cut it off at a point, then they didn't have to litigate those cases?
This is the thing, though. So, I hate to break it to you. I mean, I really do. Serial killers usually will never get charged with their full number. That's now it can happen, but it's rare. Let me tell you why. Because of the taxpayers' dollars. They're like, we already know this motherfucker killed 5.
Right.
We can get him and not get him. But see, they don't look at it from a victim's perspective. See, that's the issue I have. I understand how you feel, but you're not looking. And secondly, you're talking about taxpayer dollars. If you really wanted to save taxpayers' dollars, charge him with the 27 murders and then kill the motherfucker in a week. How about I don't pay my taxes on this motherfucker to get 3 meals a day and stay in jail? That's how you can save taxpayers' money. You already know he did it. The fuck, this motherfucker is going to be in 3 meals a day for the rest of his life. For what reason? That's what I don't understand.
Yeah, he's getting life, whether it's the 6, it's just, I guess, come down to the trial. Like, you killed 5 people. You're not like,
right. You didn't get the death penalty. So you're getting meals. I'm pretty sure this motherfucker got another pen pal. Picture that. So, they look at it like, now Gacy was rare. 33? No, they don't take that much time. But Gacy played the shit out of the cops, the politicians, because he was in with them. He was members. He was on boards, share people. You had pictures of him with presidents. Fuck that. He made you motherfuckers look bad. That's the whole reason why you say, oh no, fuck this. Or we can do 33. Not to mention they was all in the crawl space and the 4 that were further away. He's talking about I only remember putting 1 in there, so I don't know where the other ones came. Shut the fuck. Sure. So now somebody planted 28 bodies in the crawl space. You did 1, and then the 4 outside. You just stop. Just stop.
Yeah.
Stop. Anytime you have a delivery of lime coming to your basement and it's in the basement, bitch, because you put it there, like, just stop. Cut it out. I
feel like you don't have faith in me. That I only remember 1, and that is, I love that he's like I'm bisexual. It's like, dude, I don't know if it matters if you're gay or bisexual, but it's more the dead part.
That's one thing Gacy never said. Gacy was like, I'm not gay. He said I was married twice. He said, try me. Right. He didn't even want to admit the bisexual.
It didn't make any sense.
He was like, I was with men, but I've been married twice. I'm not gay. You're like, you might as well just said I suck dick. By the way, I'm not gay. Listen, those
not the point, Shari. Just more. That's not the point. It's like, dude, no one cares if you're gay. You're killing boys.
Basically, like, right. I don't mind if you're sucking dick. I'm just saying, let him live after the dick suck. That's all I'm saying. I'm saying, why you got to get your dick sucked and then he got to die? He did you a favor. So I mean, come on now. If we knew that you could suck a dick and then die, I mean, bitches would stop sucking dick. I mean, it's not like we don't try to now, but either way. I love your facial expression. Like, I'm not going to have a rebuttal. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Didn't like what I said.
He's still alive, right? Robert Pickton, I think. Is he still alive or he died in jail? I can't remember.
Robert Pickton's still going.
Oh,
still alive.
God damn it.
He's what, 79, I think now?
Fucking die already.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. So, right, you said you don't listen. They were like, it would take too long. You don't want to waste the money. Fine. So you only charge him with the 6. But the taxpayers' dollars have been accommodating this motherfucker for a long time. He got locked up in 2002. Come on, fam. 22 years or 3 meals a day.
Yeah, we should be like what if the meals were based on the good deeds you did while you were in prison? Like you had to volunteer at church. Well, you can't let them out, but something. You know what I mean? Find something. It's like if you're better, maybe then we give you better food. But until then you get one meal a day, and that's if we feel like it. No,
I would say start cutting off pieces of him and feed it to his ass.
Okay, that's right. I forgot Shari's like a bad bitch. Got it. There's that option. We could go with that. I don't know, Your Honor. No, okay, that's apparently also illegal. Who knew? I'm blown away by this guy. This is a lot. Yeah, I didn't know about like the two women helped him. I remember hearing one that was kind of like
No, the one helped him in 1993, and then he met another chick in 2000. Wow. And that's when he didn't get caught until 2 years later. But the chick in 2000, her DNA was all over the place in that house. Of course, she was never charged, but no matter what, bitch, she was around when it was getting cut up or something.
100%.
For your DNA to be and everything, I don't know if the bitch was slip sliding through the blood or like it was a water pour. I don't know what the bitch was doing. Fucking the pig. I don't know. Let me say something. I wouldn't put anything past these people because these country bumpkins just retarded.
It's not
I can see them now be like this. Look at them prostitutes coming in that corner. Wait, what? Them there around that corner. That's not a fucking phrase, fam. Then in that corner, you see that now? What? And you're like, no. Right. Nothing worse when someone talks like that and you can answer them because you understood it. So you be like, I don't know if you fucked up or I'm just dumb because I really paid attention to your shit.
Yeah. That's got a point. You can just you're a dumb whisperer. That's not good. You don't want to be that.
I'm allergic to stupidity, so.
Speaking of what you're allergic to, I feel like you're already amped up. I'm sweating. Let's get
it is hot. You're lucky. I'm not sweating yet though, but I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get that bead, like you would know of it. It's this bead of sweat that women would get, well, when you're chesty, that you get right under your boob, and then you put that little drip, you be like, this is the most disrespectful shit. And you sit there as if it's not occurring, but you're like, this is disrespectful as shit. And you're like, okay.
Yeah. I've been trying to bottle that up for years and drink it, but it's not enough.
You guys probably get it with like, because we like have the boobs, but y'all had the two balls, so yours is just, your drip is a little lower than where mine's at. That's all.
That's a nightmare.
So, I'm showing it. I'm gonna try to tone it down. I don't know what I don't know. You know what it is? Look, you're like, you know what it is?
Move on, you pretty as a rose.
Somebody made me mad because I can't listen. I just don't like when people don't have common sense. That's all. Like, if you're doing a favor for somebody, okay, I do you a favor. How much of a favor do I have to do for you, though? Like, that's all I'm saying. When people ask you for something and then they get ridiculous and they're like, well, can you do this? You're like, well, damn, bitch. Promise. Listen, you want to borrow money. Can you Uber me? So you want me to Uber you to me to get the money from me? Get the fuck out my face.
Yeah, that's insane. I mean, I didn't even say irk my soul. You just went into a rant. You just went in hard. We usually do like, we'll do an irk my soul. You were just like, this motherfucker borrowed money. I had to Uber him to. Who would have Uber to buy you up?
Listen, the thing is this.
You've been hurt. Something happened.
He said you were right. Shit. Me getting robbed for my money didn't fucking help. That being said, the part that gets me is, and this is the thing, I work hard for the things I have. And it's sad that people feel the necessity that you feel you're entitled to take what I work for and take it from me. But my thing is this: God is going to be good to me regardless. But God doesn't like ugly and he ain't too fine or pretty. So bitch, brace yourself. And not only that, I'm not a vindictive person because karma comes for everybody and it comes around faster than you think. But I think the part I just don't get is that people will smile in your face and then piss on your leg. Bitch, do I look like R. Kelly to you?
Yeah. I don't know. You keep you said you had money stolen from you. I started being like, I think you're on the wrong side. I don't know what you did. I started blaming you because I was like, what's going on with this karma? I thought karma was coming back on you, but it just turns out there's just criminals out there who like to take money.
No, it could be because I'm careless. I shouldn't have carried that much money on me though. So I mean, I'm realistic. One thing I will say is I always admit my flaws or my faults in something. Like, how someone tell a story and be like, I don't believe he did. I don't know. My story goes, listen, I know I ain't shit because I said this and that and the third, then I mugged him. But can you believe this motherfucker? Right. No. I don't downplay stuff I do. I'm not saying you're going to agree with it and you don't have to like it, but I don't lie to somebody and be like, oh, I'm perfect. I did nothing wrong. Oh, no. I shouldn't have been carrying that much on me in the first place either, though. So, I mean, that's definitely where I made a mistake at.
Yeah. Yeah. Filling people in. Yeah. You were out, whatever. You were getting paid for thing, I guess, whatever. And then it's on camera, which is great. I love that you did get this on the camera from the location that, and yeah, guys, if you're ever carrying around money, it's gotta be, it worries.
It might end up being one of these fucking clips on here. So, hold tight. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. Do not, hey, you don't, no, bad. Don't kill anybody, Shari. I know you have the capacity for it. We all know you do, but don't do it.
No, we don't. Listen, first of all, Neil, I don't appreciate that you're disrespecting me like that. For one. For two, we're all capable of being murderers. I just need a bad day and a good reason. Picture that.
Okay. Holy shit. All right. Well, I don't have any badass phrases that I wrote down or possibly just came up with. So whatever. All right. I didn't know we were doing fucking cool Die Hard lines. I had no idea. Jesus Christ. Shari, listen.
First of all, it's not so much that it's lines. It's just that, like, these are my thoughts. Like, that's how I feel.
That's scarier. That's okay. Whatever. Listen, I'm backing up.
How was that scary? I'm going to tell you like, listen, I'm going to tell you like I tell my friends. Okay. If I tell you about a joke and I was like, if you saw antifreeze sitting on the counter and I was like, you want some Jell-O? And you're like, fuck no. You want some Gatorade? No. And you'd be like, why you play so much? And you'd be like, it's odorless. It's not even detectable. You wouldn't even really know when you tasted the Jell-O. Now, somebody would be like, what the fuck? Right? Listen, but I told you that. And then you're still friends with me. Who the fuck crazy? You or me? Picture that. Oh, I know I'm a little touched. But what I'm saying is, you still friends with me. So, bitch, you must be ready to sign up. My thing is this. Don't make me have to ever kill you or hit you.
This is
There's no such thing as domestic violence. Just don't make me do it. Now, there's domestic violence. That's just because I know the next thing I'm gonna hear is this bitch is so evil. There is such thing as domestic violence. All I'm saying is though, bitch, don't argue with the motherfucker or put your hands in his face for 2 to 3 hours asking to get fucked up and then be surprised when he knock you the fuck out and be like, I don't know where that came from. Bitch, it started with your mouth running.
Okay, cool. No. Super Shari, super non-violent. Everything's fine, everybody. Don't even worry about it. We're not, everything's fine.
I think and I'm a good person. Listen, all I know is God knows my heart. That's all that matters. And that's what I say in court. Right, in court, that's what I say. But the point is this, though. When motherfuckers try you, and from last week until today, and you just be like, why? You almost be like, you look in the mirror and be like, listen, I know I was born at night, but bitch, I wasn't born last night. Stop playing with me. Stop. And then when I have to show out, and I can be like, I can show you, but then you're going to be mad. You're going to be annoyed. You're going to be like, come on, Shari, really? Right. And I don't get credit. I haven't smacked the bitch in ages. So I don't know why. Whatever.
Very good. Yes, I've heard that you have been very good. You have not smacked a bitch in a very long time. I think we have a board that counts the amount of days it's been since you last smacked a bitch, and it's pretty high. We're at like a good amount of days, so good job.
Thank you.
Man, sure. I know you have some shows coming up.
But I'm nice.
I know they definitely did. I know, and I hope that whoever stole the money, you're probably listening to this. Bring the money back, or go to jail or something. Pick one. For Shari, she didn't deserve that. So Shari, I know you got some shows coming up. If you're on the YouTube, you can see where to follow Shari at, but you can let them know, Shari, where to follow you so they can come see your shows. I know you got some. All right, this week.
So I'm gonna be petty. I'm petty. I'm petty as shit. But so I do have a show tomorrow. I'm in North Jersey, out in Somerset, North Jersey. I have a show at 9:00 and a show at 10:30. Nice. At oh my god, I can't think of the name. I gotta send you the name of the club. I'm trying to think of what the name of the club.
Okay, they can follow you at Comedian Shari, right?
Right, I'm about to say, if you follow me, then of course you're gonna know what it is, though. Yeah. But no, they had sent me the thing for it, so I'm like, I know I'm not stupid. So that's in Somerset. But the funny part was, while I'm on the phone with you, a promoter just hit me up, Kaplan from Comedy Burst. The funny part is, not only did he hit me up, but the funny part is, I bet you any amount of money though, he probably is because my phone is pinging like crazy. So, and it's on vibrate. So, I bet you any amount of money he texted me like, bitch, you can't answer the phone. Because that's how Kaplan, Kaplan plays no games. He'll say some sideways shit to you in a heartbeat.
Okay.
What is it? Morgan Circle of Love. Morgan Circle of Love.
What do you want me to edit this out? Is this a show you're talking about? What are you doing?
Look, so no. So New Jersey, shut up. New Jersey weekend. That's part 3 New Jersey weekend out North Jersey. But then, no, I was shouting out Kaplan from Comedy Works in Bristol because the promoter just hit me up. So I'm pretty sure he pissed that I'm not answering my call. Like, bitch, do you want this show or not? So what do you have coming up also?
Sure, yeah. You can check me out this Friday, every second and fourth Friday at Myers Brewing Company, every first Friday at Crown of Creation Myers Brewing Company's in Fishtown, Philadelphia, Crown of Creation off of South Street, 5th and South in Philadelphia. And we have a new show April 20th at Rosie's Taco Bar. It's in Queens Village. Really, really nice room. Come out to that one. And I'm on some other shows as well that you can check out all over the place. I'm in Pottstown but all in PA for the most part. I'll be in Atlantic City this weekend for Beer Fest for Atlantic City Comedy Club if you're listening to this now. But so come check me out as well. IamNeilWood.com for all my dates and details. But go see Shari and don't forget to like and subscribe on all her stuff as well.
Please do. Make sure you can follow me on Instagram on Comedian Shari. Then I'm on Facebook on Shari Franklin on there. Also, too, another thing is I always take the time out to shout somebody out or to tell somebody that I appreciate the service or whatever they did for me. So the restaurant, first of all, Five Guys is a good restaurant, hands down. They have good burgers. So me and my family, one of my girlfriends, we went to Five Guys to eat the other day. Of course, we were buying all the food, like doing some real fat shit. I was like, I don't know, like we were just getting everything. But the service there, not only was it excellent, because we kept going back ordering shit, like it was ridiculous, but the manager at Five Guys on City Line Avenue, his name is Samad. Not only did I appreciate his service and I appreciate how they handle business, their staff is just excellent and the food was phenomenal. So I just tell everybody, go check out Five Guys on City Line Avenue and look out for the manager, Samad. He did a great job and I appreciate him. So one thing about me is I always recognize a business, or I always try to support businesses or spend money whenever need be. Because one thing about me is I want to see everybody do well and I want to see everybody strive. So like I tell people all the time, you can hit me up, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, make comments, message me. Let me know your spot. I have no problem coming out and bringing friends and spending money and supporting a place. I always do that. I try to get out all the time. My friends like to go out and eat and spend money, unfortunately. But yes, let me know. I'll definitely come through and support any business somebody has.
Yeah, customer service right now is really bad because they're crushing workers. Like, I mean, it's
when you get good customer service, you damn near need to write give a reward for that shit, because most of the time the customer service I get is horrible.
Yeah, I mean, I always don't even blame the customers. Like, wages are low. We kind of can't get the $15 up. People are hungry, and then you're like, yeah, they're at this job. They got to work 3 jobs, like 2 more jobs after this. And you're just like, yeah, dude, I mean, whatever. But it sucks. Yeah. So if you get good customer service, give people a shout out. And I think you do that every time. And it's great.
I try to, because I appreciate, that's one thing about me. I appreciate my friends. I appreciate all my supporters. I appreciate people that follow me and just are in my corner. Because God knows I'm a handful. I got a lot of shit with me. But I definitely appreciate and love everybody that bangs with me.
It's one way to put it. A handful is one way to put it. So
that's a nice way to put it. You know me. I try to use subtle words when it comes to me. Like, I'm all right with constructive criticism, but slow up. I had a rough, it's between last week and this week, it's a little bit rough. So I like to be nice on myself this week. How about that?
That's a good idea. That's a good thing to do. Well, I hope you be easy and everybody stay safe out there. Shari, you want to say anything to close?
No, Neil, thank you so much for us doing the show. I apologize for us taking so long to bring this podcast back out. It will definitely not take this long again. I will definitely be on top of it. So you can look out for your next show coming up soon. And Neil will definitely keep guys informed. And like I said, shout me out with your businesses. Follow us, like, and subscribe. I love everybody, and everybody have a great weekend.
This has been Crimes to Remember with Comedian Shari. Subscribe on YouTube at Crimes to Remember, rate and review us on your favorite audio platform, and follow us on Instagram at Comedian Shari.
Hey, hold right there. Don't dare skip this. This is an important message. Me and my boy Albert Davis, we want to tell you about our podcast, Seriously Dad. Albert, why should they listen?
Because it's the best podcast in the world. It's by 2 comedians who are dads, and you know what we're talking about? Being dads. It's called Seriously Dad. Check us out on social media at Seriously Dad Podcast, and
anywhere you get your podcast. That's where we're at. We're funny. We got some great guests coming our way. We cover the topics you want to hear. Check us out.
This has been a Drop Tent Media production.